Noah, go ahead.
Yeah, for Ahmad. As you and Peyton have continued to develop your connection over the last couple weeks, you guys hooked up for a couple big plays last week, in particular that touchdown, but also at the same time you had 11 targets against Wisconsin, only 4 of them caught. So, how much further do you think you guys have to go in sort of developing that connection over these last 3 games of the year?
Yeah, we got to keep pushing every week, do what we do. Obviously, we talk about preparation a lot. I'm sure you guys hear that word preparation a lot, but it's the little things now getting closer and closer to, end of season and hopefully postseason where it's, okay, hey, Mod, on this route, too deep, be a little more physical, use better speed, and just watching those type of things in the film room and communicating. But besides that, like you said, 11 targets, 4 catches, we can always be better. So just striving to continue to ball and make those plays.
Matt Fortuna.
Hi, Peter. I'm curious. Not every day you see true freshmen starting and playing as much as you have from day one on the offensive line. Broadly speaking, where has kind of expectations and reality connected for you as far as how difficult or maybe not so difficult this has been?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it was easy. I mean, it's Big Ten football. Everyone's a good team, and I think it's been a challenge in a lot of ways. But it's always exciting to be 5-0, and I think it reflects the way that we played and I played up front. But there's plenty to get better at, and the competition's only going to get better as we go through the season. So I think it's been a challenge so far. But I've had a lot of seniors to help me out, Nick Urban and Gunnar Vogel, just leading me along the way and helping that transition. And I think that's made it a smoother transition for me going into Big Ten football.
If I could follow up on that really quick, I imagine it's even more difficult when you don't have your typical off season where you either enroll early or enroll in May or June and lift with the guys. Did you feel behind at all relative to everyone else just being a freshman once you were finally able to be around everyone? And what'd you do on your own time to kind of overcompensate for that?
Yeah, I think as a freshman, I think you just kind of naturally feel behind just coming in and being the new guy. But over quarantine time, I was able to meet with Coach Anderson, and he was able to walk me through the offense just kind of day by day and like install by install. And I think that helped me a lot. That where I was on campus and I already knew a lot, compared to showing up on campus and starting from page one. So I think that actually helped me a lot over quarantine, being able to meet with Coach like that.
Follow-ups are always welcome, Matt. Daniel Ollinger.
Yeah, this question's for Ahmad. So far this year in just 5 games, you've already set a career high in receptions and receiving yards. Like, what was the biggest thing for you so far this season that's kind of helped you have this maybe like breakout year in which you've produced so well?
Easy answer, Coach Jake, Peyton, O-line, doing their thing, making it easy for us to do what we do outside at wideout, getting open, playing our game, having fun with it. But when you talk about career highs, there also wasn't too many stats to surpass. But that's not my job to manage and keep an eye on. I'm just going out doing what I do, and we're doing what we do as a team.
Eric Reinstein LaBelle.
Question for Peter. Peter, now that you're essentially halfway through your first season, what personal goals do you have for yourself the rest of the way?
I think as a team, our goal is to win a Big Ten championship and see how far that takes us. And, for me, that's that's the number one goal. And just personally, I think we've struggled in the run games so far, past couple of games. So I think for me personally, as an offensive line, you want to be better with that. And the goal is to run the ball better than we have. And I think that for me is, we take that personally as offensive linemen if we're not running the ball better, and just to protect Peyton better too. I think I can be better with that as well.
Andrew Golden.
Hey, this question's for both of you guys. When the college football playoff rankings came out yesterday, is that something you guys watched or pay attention to? Is that something you typically pay attention to throughout the year?
Yeah, I mean, we see it. We all got TVs, Instagram, Twitter. We see it, we acknowledge it, and we keep it pushing. Because if it would have said anything else, it would have been the same process for us. It was a Tuesday night and a Wednesday practice, so we were getting ready for practice.
Yeah, exactly what Maud said. Like, just it's exciting to see something like that. But the focus is on just going 1-0 this week, and like we said, like you said, like just preparing for practice the next day, like we were last night. So I don't think anything changes with our preparation for this week.
You get a even more response when I say number one when you see us in the CFB though.
Josh Friedman.
Hey guys, this is for both of you. Just seeing how COVID continues to affect games in your conference and nationally, how do you think you guys as a program have been able to keep it under control like you have without having any outbreaks?
Yeah, we've been talking about that a lot. It's been a big year of just playing for one another. While we have success on the field, but also off the field pertaining to COVID, and just making sure that we're being smart off the field. And being smart is kind of this vague term or vague phrase that's been thrown around. And it's kind of leaving a lot up to student athletes, individuals to make certain decisions, whatever that may be socially. But for us, we've had the help of our ATs, our coaching staff, and the higher ups to really educate us on what's smart and what's not. So the education piece, and then two, most importantly, just a sacrifice by the rest of the team. Like, we've really been in it for one another. So it's been easy to, mask up, stay 6 feet, and follow guidelines.
Yeah, exactly what Maud said. I think we've done a great job with our and the team just holding other guys accountable with everything with COVID. And I think a ton of guys have made a ton of sacrifice. Like a guy like me, I'm close to home, but I know I can't go home and see my friends and stuff like that just because I don't want to put the team in danger. So I think, and tons of other guys have made sacrifices like that. So I think we've just, like you said, just doing this for each other here and doing the best we can to avoid COVID.
Eli Carp.
This is you've been here the last time Northwestern won Big Ten West. Looks like you guys have a chance to clinch again on Saturday. What does that tell you about where this program is going? Potentially 2 West titles and Big Ten championship appearances in 3 years.
Oh yeah, we on the rise. We're on the rise. We're on the rise. We're on the rise, and it's no surprise for us. So it's exciting stuff, man. It's exciting to be 5-0. It's exciting to be, having fun out there, and just like Josh just talked about with COVID, it's exciting to see the sacrifices being made so that we can have that production on the field. So I think we're going up, and I know we're going up, and we're not even at our fullest yet.
Drew Schott.
Hey, Ramad, since you've been here through the highs and lows of the program, the Big Ten championship, and then the 3-9 season, now this season, being your senior year, especially for you having the year that you're having right now, what does that mean to you after kind of waiting so long, having your best season in your last season in Evanston?
No, I appreciate that. But I say this, we say this as a receiver group and as an offense. We want more. We need more. We go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 5-0 now. After the game, the first thing that we're talking about as an offense is, oh, we want this play back. Oh, we want to make sure this happens or that happens. We need more. And I think that just goes to show kind of, one, the vibe of the team, but specifically what it means to me too, what the season means to me too, which is we want as much as we can get. And, that comes from work, preparation, but most importantly, really just executing at the end of the day, balling. So for me, in essence, this season – it's one that I'm trying to make the most memories on the field, but also just have no regrets, and making sure I'm executing to the best of my ability.
Awesome. And I just want to follow up with that. Being a senior in the wide receiver group, what's it been like to mentor younger guys who are starting to see a larger role in the offense, like Malik Washington and Bryce Kurtz?
It's been fun. Malik, BK, G Hoop, Wayne, them is all the guys. I've had them under, well, not only myself, but Riley and Kyrick have had those guys under our wing since they stepped foot on campus. That's a fun group of guys. But it's been good, and I'm excited to see where they go.
Matt Fortuna.
Excuse me, Rod. Coach Fitz was on here Monday, and he talked a little bit about, the fighting Reese Davises and all the little things you guys are doing to keep things loose, because it's obviously a tense time, I think, for everyone in this country right now. How do you, as a college student athlete, strike that balance? You've said the word fun a number of times already today. How do you find the appropriate balance of fun versus hey, we need to do what we need to do off the field just to have the chance to play and then take care of business on Saturdays?
Yeah, so for me, it starts with kind of setting some goals, setting goals individually, setting goals as a team, as an offense, whatever that may be, and then having a plan for those goals. And once we started realizing, oh, you can't see this person, you can't do this, or not you can't, but you shouldn't be going X, Y, and Z or doing whatever. Well, now you start trying to fill in, or I start trying to fill in, well, what can we do to kind of fill that void of whether it be social interaction, getting away from, not getting away from the field, but mentally kind of getting a break during the week or on the weekends. And you start figuring out new ways that you can really be spending time away from football, but also utilize it for it to be a good rest for the mental. And then also what's come of finding that balance has been more time with each other, more time with teammates, whether that just be locker room, whether that be around the facility, or that be small group gatherings, outside of the facility. So that fun and work balance, that's something that we preach and we talk about a lot, because at the end of the day, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, it's going to be hard to do it, especially during a time like this, especially waking up at 5:15 in the morning every day for practice. But, the boys are loving what we're doing. We winning and we're working and it's paying off. So.
Noah.
Yeah, Ramad, you talked a little bit about how Mike Bajakian coming on has opened things up a little bit for you guys in the passing game. It's three senior wide receivers starting for you guys with you, Kyrick, and Riley. 3 years at least under a different guy. How difficult, if at all, has it been to adjust to Coach Bajakian's offense from Coach McCall's? And then how much are you guys still growing within that offense, in your first year there?
Yeah, it wasn't difficult at all. Coach Jake is coming in with, I mentioned it before, but he's like a mad scientist, thinking of the best ways to get us in positions to succeed. And that's not just actual plays. That's, okay, how is he going to teach us the plays as fast as possible and as efficient as possible? And so, we have a system and it's been working, to say the least, not only for the seniors that have played some ball and been on the field and gone through installs, but even for the younger guys that are coming in, it's an easy offense to pick up. And that just is credit to Coach Jake. And then what was your second question?
Just how much more potentially room for growth you have.
Yeah. There's always growth, obviously, but I think that with the lack of relationship building interaction that we were able to have this offseason, we're starting to catch up on some of that. Now that we're in season and we're able to be around each other all the time. So just making sure we're utilizing this time now that we're getting kind of like it's the off season, making sure that we're continuing to build a relationship.
Time for two more. Jaglito.
Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for chatting with us this morning. Peter, last year this offensive line was a little better than average in terms of run blocking. And that was Kurt Anderson's first year. Has Coach Anderson told you guys or coached you guys in anything different to kind of improve in terms of scheme, footwork after not such a great running performance last week?
Yeah, I think with improving the run game, it just comes with trusting the techniques that Coach teaches us. And I think he's a great coach and he's an excellent coach when it comes to run blocking and his techniques. So I think we just got to trust those even more. And a lot of plays, we feel like we're one block away and we feel like we have, the holes that we need to make. But I think just straining to finish and trusting our techniques and, the run game is going to come. And obviously Coach Jake's got a great scheme and great run design. So I think we just got to trust that. And, like I said, trust our technique and, everything will work out.
Final one, Andrew Golden.
Hey, this question's for Peter. I'm assuming in a typical season you would go home and visit family because you're so close to home. How often do you go home, and what has it been like for you to not see your family as much as you maybe would like in your freshman year?
Yeah, I haven't gone home in a little while, but obviously normally I would go home fairly often. But I do get to see my family from a safe distance after games, obviously masked up. But, that's nice that they can come to every game. But, of course, I haven't been able to go home or see extended family or my friends very often. So, but that's kind of how college is for people who don't live 20 minutes from Evanston. So it's been fine. I've been, hanging out with the guys here. And obviously in normal times, things will be a little better in terms of seeing family and going home.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate y'all.
Greg, go ahead.
Hey, Patty. Thanks for being here. I was wondering, can you're a senior linebacker kind of playing with this core group of Chris Bergen and Blake Gallagher. Y'all have been there for a while, played together for a lot of games. Can you kind of speak to the relationship you've built up over the last, couple of years, and if you have any stories that can showcase that too, that'd be great.
Yeah, certainly. I think just being around each other throughout the last few years has really paid dividends to our work on the field. Just building relationships on and off the field, growing and maturing together. Growing through hardships and failures and successes too. Everything that's bringing us together. I don't really have a ton of stories. We're up at the facility, us three. Pretty much all day. We don't get done till around 7:30, and then we go back to our places, eat dinner, whatever. So a lot of those stories are just kind of at practice in the meeting rooms and just kind of poking fun at other guys and stuff. But yeah, we've been playing really well just because of the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the bond that we've been building over the last few years.
Seeing Blake get recognized for, for his performance last week, how does that make you feel as a teammate and a friend?
I love it. That's huge and well deserved. He's awesome as a person and as a player. He's been playing lights out, and not even this year, in years prior. It's just I think guys media really is just kind of a little late to the table, because I've seen him playing extremely well the past couple of years. And he's been playing lights out and taking a lot of steps in the right direction in his game and in his growth. So I'm super stoked and super happy that he's collecting these awards and stuff. And I know that with his mentality, he doesn't really care about it. He's a grinder, and he's ready to get back to work, which I love and respect.
Matt Fortuna.
Hi, guys. One for each of you. Echo, what's your best Coach Hankwitz story? And Patty, on a different note, do you have any stories you could share about Joe Roscoe and the time you're able to spend around him?
Yeah, so I guess for me, my favorite Hankwitz stories when my freshman year, when I was going through a tough time mentally, and I had missed practice, and he brought me in, and instead of chewing me out, he was trying to get me better mentally, trying to ask what was wrong and stuff. So that really changed my relationship with Hankwitz after that day. Just being more comfortable around him, and he's a good guy too. So.
And for my story for Joe, kind of similar to Eku, I think it was like my freshman year, either in the summer or the winter. Similar to Eku, I was going through a tough time, just adapting to college and winter workouts. I think it was around that time, just waking up early for those cold mornings. And Coach Joe, he kind of noticed, and I came up to him and just was just talking, just kind of asking for some help and for some guidance. And he didn't give me any big hoorah speech or anything. He just kind of pulled me aside, and we were talking whatever. And he just told me, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And why did you choose to come here? And why do you continue to wake up every morning and come to these workouts? Because honestly, you could call it quits whenever you want. It's not like you have to come here and work your heart out. So he just kind of pulled me aside and told me, what's your why? So that was really special for me. And for just to hear that from him, because at the heart of this program, everybody cares, and it's tough. It's college. It's Big Ten. It's the highest level. But just to hear that from Joe, was really special and something that I carry with me today.
Eli Carp.
For both of you, you guys very potentially have a chance to clinch the West on Saturday. That would be twice in 3 years. It seems like this could kind of be a turning point for the program. How exciting is it and rewarding is it to be part of what could be a really important point in program history?
Yeah, it's very exciting, and I don't think that we've become complacent at all. I think we've acknowledged where we're at as a program and where we've come from and where we're heading. I think our mindset, and I know our mindset right now is just to continue to work hard and to continue to go 1-0. That's what Fitz is always preaching. And I've just been trying to instill the job's not finished mindset, like we still got everything out in front of us and it's there for us to take. If we want it, let's go do it and let's go get it. So I think we're very much so excited and we're hungry still.
Yeah, just like Patty said, we got to remain humble and hungry. And, like Ernest said, all this media talk goes in one ear, goes out the other. Just trying to stay focused and not make any games a trap game like everyone's talking about. But yes, sir.
Noah?
For Aku, you guys as a defensive front, but also you in particular, have really been able to ramp up your pressure on the quarterback over the last 3 games, culminating in a really impressive performance against Wisconsin. What would you credit that to, the way you guys have been able to get to the quarterback more and more?
I got 4 words. Ernest Brown the fourth. He creates so much disruption that it makes our job as edge rushers a lot easier. So yes, sir.
Andrew?
Hey, this question's for both of you guys. You guys both just touched on struggles you had mentally when you first started here. Now that you're older, what advice would you give to younger teammates about their mental health and wellness and what they're going through as incoming freshmen?
Yeah, the one thing that I would say is that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for guidance and to speak up. It's tough. The things that we go through as a student athlete. Especially in the winter, man. The winters are tough. It gets dark like at 4:00 and it's cold and it could be lonesome. It could be very, very hard and very tough. So I would just say it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. I would encourage to ask for help.
Tag along with what Patty said. Just like asking for help as well. Because I didn't really ask for help my freshman year and I let it carry on till my sophomore year. But my academic advisor told me to set a meeting up with, the CAPS, the therapist here. And that's helped me tremendously. Just being able to talk and reach out to others and being able to trust the program and the people around here.
Josh Friedman?
Hey guys, your teammates were speaking to the sacrifice that has been needed from everyone to just have this college football season and avoid the virus outbreaks like we've seen throughout the country and other conferences as well as the Big Ten. Can you speak to some of the specific sacrifices each of you have made just as athletes, student athletes? Patty, you were just talking about how it's getting dark at 4:00 and maybe not being able to see friends and family and some of those things you guys have had to change in your routines this year.
Yeah, definitely. Just not being able to see the people that you may want to see or could see, in the years prior. And it's tempting, that there's the temptation that you want to go and be social. You want to go and maybe have a couple drinks if, you're of age, obviously, and see friends and hang out with family that are traveling in and out and let your guard down. And even though it's your mom or your sister, or your brother, or your dad, and you don't think you have to wear your mask when you're around them, but it's just those little things that you can't really let your guard down on, and just to continue to kind of resist those temptations, even though they might seem easy to resist. But some guys, they want to be social, they want to hang out, see people, but you just have to sacrifice, and it's been tough, but we're doing a very good job, and we will continue to do so.
The brotherhood here is tight, and we want to do it for one another. So just being disciplined and not being out there being social and stuff has made it easier since we do it for each other.
And just as a quick follow-up, on the other side of that, have you guys developed any new hobbies or things to have more fun and give you guys that stress relief away from being so focused on staying as safe and healthy as you guys have?
I don't think any new hobbies have developed. I think we're at least in our position group, the LBs, we're kind of making fun of each other a little more. just poking at each other just because we're getting bored and whatnot and kind of monotonous. So just to kind of bring light to situations, we just, kind of poke fun of each other and talk a little smack. But, no really hobbies I've noticed so far, and at least our position group.
Drew Shot.
Hey, Patty, you've been here through the ups and downs of the program, the 2018 Big Ten Championship run, last year's 3-9 season, and now in your last season with the ability to clinch the Big Ten West. What does that mean for you to have this season in your last season in Evanston and also do it with a group with Blake and Chris in the linebacking core that you've grown so close to?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question and something that I've been kind of thinking about and not really letting it, overcome me so much because we still have, games to win and stuff. But it'll mean the world, and it's so special, to be able to finish out like that. And I mean, it's gonna be great. Obviously the job's not finished, but just to be able to grow with these guys and have a special group like this. I tell the LBs after practice weekly, we got a special group. Continue to do the things that you're doing, continue to make the sacrifices, because I promise you will not forget this year. I promise you will not forget this year, and it will mean the world for sure. Most definitely, this is a special group.
Daniel Ollinger.
Hey, yeah, this is a question for either one of you. You look at like any defensive statistic, your defense is either near or at the top of the leaderboard. Do you guys like go into each game with a mindset that you are the best defense in the country? And do you think you need that kind of mindset that you are that dominant in order to perform like you have thus far?
Certainly, I think that's our mindset going in every week, and especially being the leader of this defense, that's something that I try to hit home to every guy, just to continue to have that confidence and that mindset. We had, I think we had Jason Wright come talk to us before the season, and he told us, it's an expectation to go in every week thinking and knowing that you're the best and to blow out your opponent, So every week we come in and just to have that mindset week in and week out is the biggest tip.
Matt Fortuna.
In that same vein, you guys have created 15 turnovers in 5 games. You're 12th in the country in total turnovers, despite playing less games than everyone ahead of you. Is that more of a mindset? Is it a drill? How do you guys, I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence that you're doing that and you're winning. How do you guys go about that? Because there's this misnomer out there that turnovers are largely about luck and where the ball bounces and so forth. But I imagine you don't subscribe to that.
Well, I mean, it can be a little bit of everything, because last year we've been doing the same thing as far as drills and making it a mindset and really harping on punching the ball and D-line getting their hands up and second man in ripping the ball and DBs making interceptions and stuff. So I don't know, it's just one of those things. Last year obviously was I would say an anomaly of a year where we didn't get as much takeaways and this year, we kind of see the benefits kind of unfolding, from continuing to work at the drills and not just giving up on the drills last year when we could have very easily, saying, hey, we're not getting any takeaways, screw it. Let's just not worry about it. Let's just not do the drills, So I think this year we're starting to see those benefits really unfold before us just because of the work that we put in the years prior.
Amit.
This one's for Eku. You said, there's 4 words for why the defense is playing well, but when we talked to Ernest postgame, he said there was 2 words, and he said your name. Your stats have been obviously very productive through the first 4 games this season, and there's a great lineage of edge rushers in Northwestern in the past few years. Where do you see your ceiling right now? And obviously, you're in the middle of the season, but what are your personal goals going forward, and how far can you go?
My personal goal is just to be a team player first, and the numbers will come if you just do your job. So for me, I don't really look at numbers. I just look at hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears.
Andrew Golden.
This question's for both of y'all again. When the college football playoff rankings came out last night, did you guys watch or pay attention to that? And does that affect the way you guys prepare for the games moving forward?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I did not watch it. I was busy. I forget what I think I was making dinner or something. Yeah, I know. So I didn't get a chance to see it, but I heard through teammates and on social media and whatnot. Obviously that's very exciting, but does not change our mindset. Does not change our approach to practice and to the game. We're continuing to keep doing what we've been doing. If it's not broke, then why fix it? So we're just continuing to pedal down.
Time for two more. Matt Fortuna.
4 second-half shutouts in 5 games. What's the locker room like? And just for both of you guys, what's the locker room like at halftime? I mean, is there a rah-rah speech going on that has that much of an effect? I imagine there's only so much you can do in that condensed amount of time, but can you kind of take us through the mindset coming out of the locker room in the third quarter?
Yeah, there's no really big rah-rah speech. I think we're all, the first couple of minutes we come in and catch our breath. And, I think the biggest thing is that we're all very well poised, and our composure is very well intact and under control. I think that especially being the leader of this defense, just instilling the mindset that we go into the game with, to continue to harp on that, just to continue to, we're the best in the nation. We're the best in the country. Let's continue to go in and get after them and make the adjustments we need to make and just to play hard. I don't think there isn't any rah-rah. It's just a very well poised and well composed group with a mindset.
Final question, Amit.
This one's for both of you. You can just go in whatever order. Pretty simple. What do you think of when you hear the name Mike Hankwitz?
I'll go first. The master of fundamentals. Yeah, just playing disciplined football, playing together, and just. But yeah, that's all I got. Just fundamental, masters of fundamental. So.
Yeah, he's Coach Hank's an old school guy. And yeah, like Eku said, he's a very fundamentally sound in technique oriented DC and a coach. But he's just he's great. He's the best in the nation. I wouldn't want to play for anybody else. And just the stuff he draws up on the whiteboard and the the install and the write-ups that we get at night, and going into practice, it's just crazy to see the stuff that he comes up with and the plays that he calls and everything is very well calculated. That's another thing that I admire a lot is, he is one that does his study and does his prep very, very precisely. And he is very well calculated and precise with all his calls and all his plays that he installs and things of that nature, so he's very articulate and very, very precise.
Petty, Eku, thank you. You guys are free.
Thank
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I had Thanksgiving.